Hello everyone, and today we're going to talk about a little bit of a different topic. Like we used to talk about infantry, but we're talking about Zhuge Liang. And the reason why is because of this expertise. If you trigger Burning Signet or Marquis Zhongwu skill, you gain 35 rage, and those skills are the first one and the fourth one, which is triggered if you have the Marquis effect, and then you have that the burning something goes in effect. So those are usually in the same turn, the first and fourth skill. So that rage, if you get it, I think in theory you get like 2 times 35 rage to a single target, which is 70 if it works that way. And I found out, I want to test, does it work on AoE? Is this AoE rage? Because then maybe you will need to change the talent tree. Because of the active skill, with Rejuvenate, you gain rage, right? And if we already hit the rage cap, because AoE rage, 35 each target, or 30 each target to 5 targets, you get like 150 rage. Plus the burning skill, which is even more rage. You would break the rage cap easily. So for this test, we need to remove all the ways to get rage, including Crazed, which will be in my next video, which will also upload today if I have time, because Crazed is literally the best armament in game, in my opinion, or one of the best, except for that like 5% self wound thing, but that doesn't really matter. It's an insane armament. So we want to reduce the rage. We reset the talent tree. We run Zhuge without a primary to see how many rage or how many turns does it take us to activate active skills over and over. Not just the first one, because that's always a little bit tricky. And we want to get swarmed to find out the AoE rage. Does it work, right? So if we get swarmed, we get 16 extra rage per swarmer. That's how swarming works in rage mechanics, right? So if you get swarmed by 10 players, you gain 160 rage per turn just from that, and that's what you can see. Usually if you are cheeseburgering and they all target you, you get your active skill first, right? So then you can retreat before they can cast their skills. That's why cheeseburgering is so insane. So we just run a couple of rage cycles here, skill cycles, and then we'll retreat and run the next test. And it would be with a commander that does not have rage bonuses from circular AoE. So for that, I first thought, let's go with YSG, and as you can see in the clip soon, YSG has % chance of rage. But first, let's take a look. I think I should have the top report. First skill is at turn 12, because we don't have a talent tree, otherwise it's usually turn 8 or 9. And here we see Chu Shi Biao was triggered this turn, 4 times 30 rage, which is 120, and with the base rage, which is 121, plus 120 is 141, which would break the rage cap. So wait a minute, don't we need Rejuvenate now? That's the question. So, and Crazed as well, right? Crazed doesn't work on these turns, and it happens every single time. As you can see here, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 30 rage. That's more than enough. You don't need more. Is this rage just glitched, or is it real rage? Is it rage that you actually get, or is it just something in the code that's wrong? We gotta find out. So now we send out another AoE circular commander. I thought there was no rage on YSG, but on the secondary skill there is actually some rage, so we don't want to use that. Instead we use Theodore. Yeah, it doesn't max or anything, but that doesn't really matter. We just want to know the rage count. So Theodore is like Theodora I was saying it wrong. But there is no rage on this, no talent tree as well. So basically, it should be the same, right? Except for that expertise skill. So we want to look how much rage does it actually give, that expertise skill. Is it worth a turn of rage, or isn't it worth a ton of rage? That's the question. My theory is that if it only counts for one, like 1 times 30, instead of all 5 or all 6 or all 4, then if you go through a diagram with the rage, it would show you that you should not trigger your active skill at the same turn as usually, right? So at the same turn as that Zhuge did it. It's confusing, but you'll see in a minute. We just want to run a few cycles here and get some AoE. So if it was only 1 times 30 rage, then 30 rage doesn't make a big difference. In fact, I have some other rage videos as well with Liang. I was the discoverer of that rage mechanic as well and that expertise, but Zhuge has one as well. And we'll find out now. Theodora. No rage here, just the swarm rage, which is basically the same here. Turn 12, which is, I believe, the same as in the other report. Right? Is it? Let's take a look. Turn 12. So the base rage is the same, as you can see. That doesn't really matter. And turn 20 with you another skill here. Turn 28, so it's 8 turns. Turn 36, 8 turns. Turn 43, or was it 42? 42, right? So it's 8 turns basically. Every 8 turns would trigger our skill cycle. So Zhuge, if it was just one target, you gain 121 rage per turn. So times 8 would be 100, what, 800, 968. So if you get only 1 time the 30 rage, you would have like 998 rage, which is not enough to activate your skill. But as you can see, every 7 turns it triggers. So that means that actually that 30 rage times, I don't know, 5, 4, 3, 2, the multiple rage, all of that rage counts. And yeah, of course you do have the rage cap. So if we didn't have the rage cap, this would have been nuts, game-breaking content. But we do have the rage cap, which makes this less powerful. But still, you gain AoE rage, which is crazy. So yeah, it gives you 1 turn basically of free rage, the active skill. And that's pretty insane, right? Pretty interesting. I didn't know that, so that was why I wanted to make the video. I was like, in the report, it seems bugged or something. Why do I get so much rage? Is it just a glitch? Until I researched it, and I found out, yeah, it's just, you get a lot of rage. It's AoE rage, which is fun. And I also wanted to do some other research as well, so I did a test with Rejuvenate, to include Rejuvenate and a secondary commander to see the difference, right? Do we still trigger it in 7 turns? So then basically Rejuvenate doesn't do anything. Or do we trigger it in 6 turns now? Well, so we upgrade all the way to Rejuvenate, right? Because, well, no. Wait a minute. If we do Rejuvenate, we also have that 1 rage talent there, right? And I believe there is no rage on Hermann, so we can just use Hermann, that's fine. But I think there is that one rage skill that will give me 9 extra rage per turn. So I think my calculation that I did first was a bit off. No, it wasn't. Because I didn't have that rage. So now we have 9 extra rage. And if that was true, like if we don't need that talent, like rejuvenate, we can just go full archer, full rage here, because we do want the normal rage per turn. Attack isn't really worth anything there. We want Nake to rage, we want all for 1. Then we have 6 points, so I think just 1 point in rejuvenate would we play here? I don't know. Because remember, you also have that inscription or armament that has crazed, which gives you 35 rage for your active skills. So I think if you have 35 plus 20, 55, should be enough, right? So for that, I wanted to do a different test. I just wanted to test without craze, without anything, but just with rejuvenate and that one talent that I need to pick up. But first, we have an advertisement. This is a jumper group. Jumpers are pretty fun, and you can join one. There's a link in the description. As you can see here, this is the post. It starts mid-October. Jumpers are mainly very good for like the younger players in here that only have a few million power and feel weak. Then you can restart in a jumper group and have friends and chill and be better because you get help. So that's the, well, advertisement for today. Join the jumper group if you're like a lower power viewer or just interested in jumpers in general. It's in the link below. Anyways, let's continue our testing. Here we have Zhuge. Now we do have a secondary, which is Hermann, because that's what we're using in the field, right? That's the field meta. Let's see. Let's take it to a city first. Yep. And see. Okay, so what we're testing now. So, does rejuvenate, if we max it, does it make a difference in skill cycle? Is it still gonna be 7? Or is it gonna be 6? That's what we want to find out. Like we already know, if you use calculations, it doesn't do anything in the turn from Zhuge's active skill because of that rage from the expertise. So let's find out. I have a bunch of skills here, just want to have 3 of them swarming me because, well, that's giving a lot of rage from the active skill, so that's enough to cancel out that rejuvenate skill. And in the field, you'll probably hit more than 3 targets if you're in ball scenario. What did they want to do here? Just showcase the talent tree again? Yeah, we do, of course, we do miss out on some rage that you would have gotten otherwise. The 9 rage on that talent tree. We also miss out on the Horn of Fury and Crazed, Inscription, other inscriptions like Vengeful. So, doesn't really show anything now I'm thinking of it. It doesn't really show anything. But it's hard to do it, like, we cannot control when the horn is going to trigger, right? So we see turn 28. We see the next one, we get that 90 rage here, and Rejuvenate works. You get 60 rage, but it's too much. It's triggering that cap, probably. Then we see another 30 rage here from that expertise. Turn 35, which is 7 turns away. After turn 35, right? This is 7 turns now. 28. Yeah, 28. So 28 plus 7, 35. I believe the next one was in turn 42. So that makes 7 once again. So basically, it doesn't really do anything. But of course, if you have other ways to gain rage, you can maybe have one in 6 turns. I believe you do, right? I believe I tested that as well, but it went wrong a little bit. But yeah, it is true. If you have more Wage of Rage, you can get like one skill cycle every 6 turns, basically. That's pretty much the limit. In theory, you can do 5, but you need to get very lucky with everything. It's I think it's only reachable with Liu Che, actually. Now I think of it. But that's something for another topic. Anyways, so Rejuvenate, I don't know if it's the play. I think maybe if someone else with super deep game rage mechanics can research it. I don't have access to my stuff anymore about the rage. Like I've used some in previous videos, but I don't have access anymore, and I'm too lazy for this video to do all sorts of calculations once again. I don't think it's that game changing, actually, sorry, but the rage, it's at least makes you aware of that rage on the active skill. And next video is gonna be about some rage as well. It's gonna be about Crazed Inscription. Yep, that's right. It's a very, very insane inscription. I tried to do a test here, but the barbarian decided to run away. You can see that in a couple of seconds. I just wanted to have 3 of me swarming, 3 of them barbs swarm me, because that's what I've been doing the whole time, but that motherfucker. So that was testing for today. Conclusion, you get a ton of rage from that active skill. Other than that, I think maybe 1 or 2 out of 3 on that skill is enough for Rejuvenate, but we'll have to do some deeper research for that. For sure, if we calculate Crazed, and then it gets a little bit different, so yeah, that's gonna be a topic for next video, and we're gonna do some more calculations with spreadsheets and stuff, okay? So, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, please leave a like and sub, and comment something, I don't know what, but if you made it so far, make sure to join Discord, okay? It's in the comments down below as well, my Discord and the Discord for the jumper group. It's not my jumper group, but I have a good experience with jumper groups, and, well, I've seen a bunch, and it looks really interesting. It is really fun. So if you want to look for that fun, you can join theirs, which is also in the list in the description down below. And well, have a good day. See you in the next one.